bhajan, bhavabhaya bhajan bhairagi, dada dada bhadanu, dvara dinudanu, bhikshayu yadanu asogi, chandana charchita basmodvarchita.
In northern part of India, presently in the region of Gorakhpur, Uttar Pradesh, there was a yogi. He was committed to one aspect of Shiva, which was called Alak Niranjan. Alak means that which is not perceivable, that we cannot see, hear, smell, taste. Niranjan means that which is colorless. That which is colorless, you can anyway not see, hear, smell, taste. The same thing, but Alak Niranjan, Shiva Shambho, same thing. He went from home to home because this was the nature of spiritual people. And the culture and the civilization was so friendly to spiritual seekers. When they see a sannyasi or a mendicant who has dedicated his life to his spiritual process, others who have their own money, who have their own homes, always made sure that they ate, because they are not earning their own living, they don't have a home of their own, they've made the world their home. So when a sannyasi or a mendicant came in front of the house, nobody said no. Whatever they could give, always it was given. And they never asked for anything more than what they need for that day's nourishment. They didn't take money, they took only food. So he was going from home to home, Alak Niranjan, Alak Niranjan. One day, he came and stood in front of a wealthy home and said, Alak Niranjan. The lady of the house doesn't want to come out by herself. She sent the maid in the house to give him some grain so that he can eat. But she stood behind the door and looked at him. He was a young sadhu with big bright eyes, and she was drawn to him. Next day when he came and said Alak Niranjan, she herself came to give the alms. And she looked at his eyes and she fell into them. Then she went inside the house and felt ashamed. She's a married woman, and what am I doing? But his eyes occupied her completely. Next day when he came with the alms, she ran to the door. She looked at his eyes, she gave him the alms and said, I am completely taken by your eyes. I can fall into them and disappear, actually I have already. He said, Alak Niranjan and left. Next day he came again. He said, Alak Niranjan. She came to the door. So he had a plate and he said, yesterday you said, you love my eyes. Here I have brought them. He had plucked his eyeballs out. And placed it in her hands and said, Alak Niranjan, and walked away. He is willing to become blind so that her inner eyes open up. These are the yogis and mystic of the world. Ram, Alak Niranjan.
अलख निरंजन खिल खिल गुंजन हवा भय भंजन भैरागी दड़ दड़ भंदनु द्वार दिन दनु भिक्षायु धनु असोगी चांदन चर्चित भस्मोद्वर्चित मधुर सुंदर सन्यासी अलख निरंजन गिल गिल गुंजन भव भय भंजन भैरागी ताहिये ತೆಗೆದುಕೋ ಎನ್ನುತ್ತ ಜೋಗಿಯು ನೀರೆಗೆ ತಾಳಿಯ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ ತಾಳಿಯ ತಲೆದಳಿ ತಳ ತಳ ಹೊಳೆಯುವ ಕಣ್ಣುಗಳೆರಡೂ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ ತಾಯಿಯೇ ನಿನ್ನಯ ನಿನ್ನಯ ಕಣ್ಣಿನ ಬಣ್ಣನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದ ಗರತಿಯ ಗೋರಿಯ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ ತೊಗಳಿನ ಆ ಕಣ್ಣು ಕಿತ್ತಿದು ಅಲಕ್ ನಿರಂಜನ ನಡೆದೇನು ನಿರ್ವ್ಯತೆ ಆ ಜೋಗಿ ತೊಗಳಿನ ಕಣ್ಬಳಿ ಅಂತಲಿ ಜ್ಞಾನದ ಒಳಗಂತರಯಿಸಿ ಕುರುಡಾಗಿ ಅಲಕ್ ನಿರಂಜನ ನಡೆದೇನು ನಿರ್ವ್ಯತೆ ಆ ಜೋಗಿ ತೊಗಳಿನ ಕಣ್ಬಳಿ ಅಂತಲಿ ಜ್ಞಾನದ ಒಳಗಂತರಯಿಸಿ
One who has seen the world beyond color, beyond taste, beyond perception of the senses. So in 21st century, this yogi would be considered an absolute idiot, that he pulled his eyeballs out. That's how life is. Well, there's a big question right now in many people's minds. And the doctor who treated me repeatedly asked me, Sadhguru, why are you doing this? So, I started having excruciating pain 6 weeks before the surgery. And I know that I have neurological issue. I thought somehow I'll finish my schedule, a few things to do, Mahashivratri and a few commitments in Delhi and Chennai. And then I thought I'd kept 1 month in United States, except for one darshan, I had a free 1 month. I thought I'll fix myself. But all this activity, Mahashivratri, first bleed happened 6 weeks ago. Mahashivratri gave a second bleed. Then I went to Chennai and back and then went to Delhi. 15th evening I had a commitment. The doctor did an MRI and he said, no way you can do this. Then I said, it's a private event, I will do it. He said, okay, but the next day's event, 16th event is a public event, you cannot do this. Because the median, the central median between the two lobes had moved 8 millimeters off. 12 is fatal. I said, no, I have to do it. So I did that event, it was a 45-minute event. By the end of 45 minutes, my left leg was beginning to act funny. So I came out and had an MRI. So it said it's moved 11.5 millimeters. Doctor said, this is crazy. Shall I do this, shall I do that? I said, doctor, I've crossed all lines, do whatever you want. I went straight in and they did a surgery and here I am. Day before yesterday, he called me and asked many questions about my faculties and cognition. I said, everything is okay. He said, this is extraordinary, this recovery in a matter of 4 weeks. Well, when I saw my left leg is behaving funny, I knew it could be fatal, of course, that is easy. But you could have left side paralysis, which is a common thing, or you could lose your voice, or you could lose your vision. I was little not okay with vision loss. Then a month ago, this German girl came to the ashram who's been born blind. And she's learned Indian music and Indian chants and she sings wonderfully well. And I thought about her, this girl is blind from birth and she's so joyful. I thought maybe it'll be okay. I want you to see her.
Mano buddhyaham kar chitta ninaham na cha shrotra jihve na cha krana netre na cha vyoma bhumena tejo navayo chidananda rupa Shivoham, Shivoham.
Sadguru created safe soil. Now let's save Sadguru with this healing mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantraye Amrita Kalasha Hastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanadhaya Mahavishnave Namo Namaha Mahavishnave.
So, I want you to understand, we are this sort of people who throw away our lives for small things. I've done that many times, but this time it became very public. Otherwise, many times it's happened, for little things I've thrown away my life. It's yo-yoed back to me. 4 weeks ago, look at me, sitting in Bali. It's back. Because somebody, my partner doesn't want me dead yet. But if you try to save yourself, you don't know the value of life. So knowing this, before you decide anything, I want to remind you that you are with somebody who's willing to throw his life away for small things. Knowing that, you decide. Suddenly in the middle of something, one of you will stand up and say, Sadhguru, what about astrology? Your brains are in the wrong place. That's what it means.